Hello everybody, good morning. It's a nice dry and not too cold morning here in the UK. I have been sorting out my scraps. Doing the masterboard and making the tag has got me into de-stashing my scraps. So I wanted to just show you a couple of things that I have come up with. First of all, this book is not my idea. This is Gail Agostinelli, and she has a book similar to A4 size papers, and as she goes along, she puts her scraps in. So here's my book. Excuse me. And as she goes along, she puts the scraps in and keeps a similar theme. So there we've got pinks and greens. And then on the back, pretty neutral. Again, there on the back, pretty neutral. Reds and a vintage style. Neutral on the back. And that one is sort of pinks and yellows. And I haven't done the back yet. What I do as I go along, if I need a page, I tear it out and use what I need off the page. And what's left of the masterboards, I just keep in here. That's one that I did on a coffee stained paper with those natural looking ones. So to have them in a book, I thought was a great idea. And then I went to the antique centre. Sort of vintage antiques bric-a-brac centre, and there was the exact book that Gail had. So I thought, this is meant to be. So I got the book. It's called Discovering Shapes, and got them all in there so I can use those as I go along. I'd forgotten I'd started that, but having a good sort out through my scraps, I found it. So whilst I sorted through, I realised I've sorted my scraps into sections. So I've got card, I've got tiny papers, I've got vintage book pages and music pages. But then I realised some of my scraps are just one-sided with a pattern on one side. Like this. So you've got your piece of paper and then it's plain. But then I realised, not that I wouldn't know this, some are on two sides. So I gathered all my two-sided ones together because I've seen this collaging technique by a few people. So I thought, right, well, let's have a go at that. So collage like this, but instead of gluing it onto a piece of paper, I did it so that it's actually two-sided. And I'm going to show you how to do this. I did that one, this one. These I did yesterday, and I've stitched the edges of these. And I don't know if you can see a glitter on there, but I did sprinkle some diamond dust on. But what I thought these are great for is you could cut them up into tags if you want to do, or journaling cards, or make envelopes from them, whatever. But I thought they also make great little covers for your journal. Yeah. And they're already sort of done on the inside as well. You can make a quick and easy journal with those covers. And you've used all your scraps up too. Or you could even do some sort of like little trifold booklet as well, where you could put pockets, you know, inside. I'm going to cough again. I'm so determined not to cough, so of course I want to cough. That's another one. You can see that one glittering away. Like that on the back. And you don't have to sew these. There we go. And what I thought, because I do like using paints and things, and I like using all different mixed media effects, so I thought these are good to have in stock as a base as well for anything else that I might choose to do. So those are the stitched ones. The unstitched ones, here's the unstitched one that I showed you. But that one again, I've not finished it off, this one, that's why that's happening. But again, you can fold that, and that looks like a great journal. That's a great journal cover as well. So they don't need to be stitched, or you could do some hand stitching, some slow stitching. So I'm going to show you how I made these. But I won't be stitching. So I've got my pile of double-sided papers. There's all sorts in here. There's some Christmas, a bit of vellum. That one's gold on each side. I thought it was nice. There's this one with the bicycles on. Some purple and blue there. There's Edith Holding. There's some bits that I'd done some, I don't know, playing on. So I've got those. I got some other, while I was sorting out, I thought, oh, those are interesting, just to stick on top. I got some scraps. There was some napkins in the bottom of my, that's dinosaur napkins in the bottom of my scrap box, my very tidy scrap box. So I've got these things together. So when you actually make the, I'm showing you what happens at the end first. So when you make your paper, see, that would have been on there. So that would have been that big. But I've cut them down to A4. So that is the piece I cut off. So the piece I cut off is the piece that I start with. So then I just go through my papers, and so I'm genuinely doing this off the cuff, and start to assemble them. I like the butterflies, but I do like the green. And then you decide whether you want it on top or under. I actually want this under. So what I do is get my very used Pritt stick, just pritt along the edge and just tuck that under. Literally just tuck it under. You can see that the back is already starting to develop. I mean, you might do the front side and then think, well, actually, I like the back better. This is a nice piece of Edith Holding there. Oh, what's this one? Oh, that's nice. It's got some alphabet on and some like Latin writing. I think that would go. Oh, I think that would go nice there. I do sort of try and keep my edges square-ish, but if it's not, it doesn't really matter because you do cut it out anyway. I'm actually going to stick that on top, and I'm just going to stick it a little bit sort of. I'm actually going to stick it a little bit off centre. So what I would do here, it's these two sides. So I go on these. If I see bits just popping up, I just pop a bit of glue under that. Do you know, I had a moment then when I thought I wasn't recording. I'm going to stick that there. Let's have a look. That's quite a nice piece to go with this. A bit of vellum. It's just all sorts here. That'd go on nice with it as well. So these are literally just my scraps. So I'll probably have another day of another bit of Edith Holding. I'll probably have a day of destashing my scraps again today. Right, sorry about that. I've got a drink. So I quite like that. I don't want it next to it though. I'm actually going to put that. I'm going to put that in the middle there. Oh, I like that. So what I do, back in with my Pritt stick, my glue stick, put that there. Now, I do keep moving mine so that it doesn't stick to my mat. There's the back. Then that, I think, will fit very nice. I'm going to tear some of that off. I'll keep that though because I like the number on it. I'm going to put that there. So I just put some along the edge where I'm going to stick it. I mean, you might want to do this with PVA. You don't have to do it like I'm doing it with glue, with Pritt stick. Use whichever glue you prefer. I'm going to stick this little piece of vellum on there. It's nice to have that, just the different paper textures. And it's nice to be able to see through the vellum as well. Now as I go along, I've got bits of pattern paper and things. So here, this little bit of a white edge is just irritating me. I mean, you can, if you, while you want, you could ink it all as you go along if you want to. That would have made this video very long, but I haven't actually inked mine as I've gone along. I'll ink it as I use it. Oop. That just adds a little bit of interest. So just keep going round it, checking it, sticking down. This one, I like the pink flower, but I like the tag there at the bottom. Oh, where should I put this? I think I'm actually going to leave it that size, and I'm going to put it on top because I like that torn edge. I never knew I had so many scraps. Well, I did know I knew I had so many scraps, but when I actually got them out of the box, I didn't realise how many there actually were. Now, this is Christmas. This is some Stamperia Christmas paper, but it doesn't really, well, I don't think it really matters as long as it looks pretty. I'm going to glue that one on around the edges underneath, because I am going to put that one underneath. I got a great response to, well, there's some of that there as well. I got a great response to my tag video, pictures of my tags that I made from my masterboard. So I've got that on YouTube, so I will put a link below to that. Oh, that'll look nice just peeking out of there. I've got a piece of A4 here. Oh, great, we're well within our boundaries there. Right, I'm going to cut this now. So I'm going to place that on there. I just use my A4 as a pattern guide. Get my scissors and I cut up. Cut this piece off. Whoops. So this piece now will be the start of my next collage. So let's have the grand unveiling. There we are. What a lovely page is that? So I'm going to just add a few bits and pieces. So I was thinking of adding a doily. This is a nice little grungy one. So let's put some glue on this. To be gentle now. Now I am going to stitch mine on the machine, but I'll do it after. I'll finish it and then I'll do mine later off camera. You don't want to sit here while I'm stitching away. Like I say, you can use these to put all sorts of added mixed media effects on, or you don't need to, you can just leave it as it is. Let's get got these little squares of calico. I'm going to put that on there. These were in my scrap fabric and trims box. There we go. Ooh, look at this sparkly purple. That might have gone quite nice behind there, actually. Does it lift up? Yes, it is. So I'm going to put that on there. That's why I like using the dry glue for this, because it's just easy to peel up and redo. Oh, that's nice. Very nice. So here's my scraps of fibres and bits and pieces I've got together. A bit of grungy lace. And as I'm sorting through my scraps, I'm finding all sorts of things I can add. Let's have a look here. I quite like, so we've got the purple there. There's a little bit of purpley colours there. Let's take this. Let's just make a little... These are the ones that I like to make into flowers, you know, but I just keep stitching. Oh, what's that there? It's like a bit of Christmas tree. Oh no, it's rosemary. Because sometimes I do use plants and things in my work. I'll show you that another time. I'll just pop that, say, on there. You could stitch it first to hold it all down if you want to. Could even wax over it. I've done that before now. So I've got a few bits and pieces on there. I'll put a little bit more. Just put another little piece of doily. Now what I would do at this point is I would go and sew it on my machine, but you don't need to do that. But what you do need to do is seal it. Both. If you're stitching, you only need to seal the top. If you're not, then you'll need to seal the top and the bottom. So to seal it, I've got matte Mod Podge. You might prefer to use something else. Just trying to brush off. And which I'm running out of. And then I'm just going to paint over the top. Now this does help any little bits that are maybe sticking up to stick down. You know, to flatten everything. So you still got the texture of the layers, but it's held down a bit firmer. Straight over your calico. Or you could put tea bags on as well, couldn't you? You could put anything on, tea bags, feathers. Stickers, diamantes, flowers, buttons, all sorts. I suppose you could even do these out of fabric as well, out of your fabric scraps. You don't have to be paper. You could do a mixture, paper and fabric. So just paint over that. Right, I'm just going to blob-a-dob on there. Oh, I like how it's just sort of spreading out as well. Don't want that on there. This little piece is desperate to get on. Let's pop the on. I liked how those fibres had gone across, so that little piece just sticks those down. So that, my friends, is it. And then, like I say, if you're not stitching, I would seal the back as well. In fact, because can you see there's a little bit lift in there? Just notice that then. In fact, I'll dry this. Let's dry it. Sorry about the noise, I'm sorry. Be careful too when you're cutting out your page. This is today I cut through my Teflon. Easy thing to do. I'm going to turn over and do the back, even though that is actually still damp. So yeah, so do the back. Look at the back. This is almost as pretty as the front. This is where you could go along and stick more things on the back if you wanted to. But because I don't know what this is going to be, that's why I've just chosen to do a front. Then maybe if I knew it was going to be a journal cover, then I would enhance the back as well. Should want pockets and things in, I suppose. It's good not to just go in straight lines with your Mod Podge, because if you do, you get that straight line. When it's dried, you can see those straight lines. Right, I'll just quickly dry this. What I normally do is have a production line going. So as I've Mod Podge one, I'd be on to another one. And then by the time you get back round to it, it'd be dry to turn over and do. So there we go. There's the front. The Mod Podge has made it much more malleable. You can see nothing's lifting now. That would make a lovely journal cover as well, wouldn't it? And there's the back side. And that's all this because I've chosen to use the double-sided scraps. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Please hit the subscribe button if you have. Please do that. I'm loving seeing new subscribers. I'm loving all the comments everybody's making. If there's anything in particular you want me to do, please let me know. I'm going to be playing this afternoon with some fabric, and I'm going to try to emboss some fabric running it through my big shot. I know, exciting. I've got a few ideas in my mind how I'm going to do that, so I'm going to have a play, and all being well I'll be able to show you how to do it. And I'm also going to stitch my pink journal together and add the embellishments. So there you go, you've been watching Sharon Alexander at Be Divine Vintage. Hope you've liked today's little project. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Thank you.